Get some information, got it?
Yeah.
Or sterile.
Call our Jackson County Commission special meeting work session to order for July 17th. Have a roll call.
District 1, Mr. Duffy.
Present.
District 2, Mr. Venable. District 3, Ms. Gilbert. District 4, Mr. Sis.
Present.
Chairman present.
We have a couple commissioners out of town this evening. We have a quorum. Have our invocation by Mr. Porter and our pledge by Mr. Scott.
God, our Father in heaven, we're blessed to be here. We're so thankful to be citizens of this wonderful county. We're thankful for the citizens of the county. We pray you watch over us and guide us and be with us every day. We're also thankful for those that choose to serve the public. We're thankful for their service. We're thankful for their the time that they give and the talents that they have that they can serve us and serve the community. So we're thankful for that also. We'll always be with our men and women in the armed services because they keep us free, and we're so thankful for that. Watch over us, God, and guide us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item is approval of the agenda. We have two items to be voted on this evening and one item for discussion. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda presented or any changes?
I make a motion to approve it as presented.
Motion, have a second. Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, we have Mr. Gomez with the Jackson County Jail like to present some information to us.
What it is our fingerprint submission. We do that electronically. People who are arrested, the fingerprints are taken, the body shots are taken, and submitted to the state of Alabama, all electronically. And our equipment with our provider, which is DataWorks Plus, some of our equipment has reached the end of its life. So they won't service that equipment any longer. We do have calls. We had 9 calls, service calls in 2016. We had a few this year already. The normal contract price for the service and the maintenance of this equipment is $2,500 a year. As far as I know, we've been paying that $2,500 a year right on. And that has expired. It expired in December and has not yet been renewed. I found out today that our camera, our printer, and our actual electronic fingerprint scanner, those things are now obsolete and they will not service them any longer. Thankfully, our PC workstation, which is a cost of $3,300, is still viable and usable until 2019. This company, DataWorks Plus, provides the software for that as well and keeps that updated. And right now, for the camera and for the printer and for the scanner is a cost of $16,480. Now that's provided that, well, that's with the contract and the whole business, $16,480 for the whole thing, the new equipment and the contract. Just the equipment was $13,980, provided that we trade in our old electronic fingerprint scanner, which is still usable. So that would give us a credit of $500 for that. But I have included that. I'm assuming that we would, so I've included that $500 credit into that as well. So the entire new equipment and the maintenance is $16,480.
The scanner, printer, what?
The scanner, the printer, and the camera. It's a digital camera that used to take pictures of the, also for scars, marks and tattoos, they could take pictures of that as well.
How soon does this need to be replaced?
Well, they're saying right now.
But you said a printer is still still good? Is that one you said it's still good?
No, the PC
Peace, sir.
is still
So
good.
basically, if we go down, we're in trouble because they won't service it.
Right. And this DataWorks Plus is the state contract. They have the state contract on that, so that's the one we'll have to go to continue to fingerprint.
Is that what we're buying, is what we're through?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. What we'll need to do is, I'll try to understand a little bit more about this, and if we, I guess we'll need to do something. So we can have something on the agenda proposal maybe next week to discuss, and if we want to push that to another work session, we can. Is that suitable?
I think this is pretty important piece of equipment. I mean, if it goes down, I mean, we're down,
They
right?
pretty much have to have it these days. I
Yeah.
mean, the old days, of put it on a fingerprint card and send it down or over with, it doesn't happen anymore. So it's gotta be submitted digitally.
That's what I was thinking. It's something I don't think we can get one, I mean, we could get a bid.
And I don't think we've got those kind of dollars available for the jail fund right now.
I'll just need to look at their updated budget to see, I don't know if we've got that much in any excess in any one of their funds, but we can check and see.
We'll try to have some information for next week again. If we need to push that to a work session after that, we can. So if there's no opposition, we'll do that and place that. I know that wasn't a work session item, but he did have that he wanted presented tonight.
And if I might, I know you researched whether there were other companies that could do the same thing, and there are not.
There are not. No, not
They
now.
pretty much
Was in my mind what you just
They've
said.
kinda got
And I
state
thought,
bid
well,
and a monopoly on it, so.
That's what it sounded like, it kinda has it all in their hands.
These are just a very few, this is a short list of the ones that are checked immediately. It's Marshall County, Gunnersville, Scottsboro, Madison County, and the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency all use DataWorks. So, I talked to the people, and they actually do have the state contract for this service, for the submission.
Thank you.
Move on to our special meeting. The first item is regarding resolution approving the Waterville Water Project proposal for bids. I believe we have, okay, it's just one resolution. This resolution, the process has changed in this. This is something we have to do before we even kind of do the process for planning. What this resolution does is basically says that these, the engineer and the grant person that handles the grant for us will do this for us at no cost, the planning process at no cost to us, and if we move forward and do receive the grant, then they can be utilized in the future and be paid for the services after that. So, again, my understanding is that the process has changed. In order to get this submitted in a timely fashion, is why we have the special meeting tonight, so that we can go ahead and do this, approve the resolution. This was bid out. We only had one contractor and one grant processor to apply for this, so those were the two that received the low bid, and we've got that listed in each resolution here. Again, this is just to get the planning process started and get this project moved forward. This is an extension on the Wanville project that we did 2 years ago with the city, or last year. We finished it out last year with the city grant. Are there questions or comments on these? Do we have a motion to approve either, can we do both of these together? Okay, so a motion to approve the resolution separately or together?
Make a motion, we do it together.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
Okay, second. Any further discussion or questions on this? We'll have, of course, more information as we go forward, start planning this project out and understand what all it'll entail and apply, hopefully be able to apply for this grant. So motion and second. All in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item is motion to approve the public works trucks bid. I'll let Mr. Campbell explain. I think we've had some changes on that we need to clarify today.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. In your packet, you should find a couple of documents. The first there is the Stivers Ford Lincoln, and that is a summary of the state contract price plus the added options that match the bid specs that were sent out. So since our last conversation on this, the state contract price was approved. back in June 12th, you probably recall, for $23,990. When that was presented, we had a confirmation from that dealership that that price met our bid specifications. And when it came down to receiving the order form and getting the PO to purchase it, we learned that it didn't include the two options that are listed to meet our specifications, which were the power equipment group and the trailer tow package. So with those items added, we're at a different price. And
Is that what
so-
that bottom number is?
Yes, sir. And so the second sheet is the comparison sheet we looked at back in June when we made our decision on who to go with. And this number would replace the $23,990 now for your consideration.
It'd still be the lowest bid, correct?
It is the lowest bid, however, I will mention the next lowest bid is a Donahue Chevrolet, which they're located in Fort Payne.
When we had the specs done in, did they have all the specs and things that we were asking for?
We emailed the specs to them and asked them to review and confirm that that truck met the specifications we did.
Well, they didn't follow up on what was needed, did they?
It's been an unpleasant process. And 4 weeks into it, we just now received an estimate. As a matter of fact, to give you some more information, what cued me into it was, I see Mr. Harnan giggling there. We're in a staff meeting, he made mention of the difficulty he was having with the dealership. And so it perked us up to following up on an email that was a couple of days old, and it just started unfolding into the worst case. So I just received this actual, despite constant contact that has led all the way to talking with the general manager, I've just received this quote, actual quote, broken down, itemized quote today so that I can present.
Is the next lowest bidder, do they qualify for the local percent?
They would be within the 5%.
If it's outside of county, does that qualify?
It's in DeKalb County.
They still be within the state though. I think you'd be all right with
You have a recommendation?
I knew you were going to ask that. On one hand, I think the brand consolidation, all our other trucks are Fords, so there's some advantage there. I have doubts about, I had doubts, still do honestly, about if our trucks will be ordered on time, if it'll be what we ordered. So I had a conversation with the general manager today, and so all I have to go on is what he tells me, and he tells me that he will personally assure that they're ordered on time, that it's ordered correctly, and we'll get what we ordered. So,
Where is that from?
Montgomery.
He should have ate that if he had spec sheets to go on.
There,
That was his mistake.
It's probably outside of 30 days. Ain't it 30 days?
well, we never even received anything except just email correspondence back. After you guys approved the price, we sent down a request and said, on so-and-so date, which I can show you guys the correspondence through. The commission approved, we want to order 2 of these trucks, so please send us an invoice so we can produce a PO for you. Dell takes that invoice, creates the PO, we send on the PO number, it's placed in the order sheet, we can get the truck. So we request that, time goes by, I follow up with a call, and that's when we learn, well, that price don't include XYZ. So,
Can the bid be approved conditional upon a receipt date?
Sure.
And nothing was in the bid as to when we expected to receive it, correct?
no, sir, the only thing that leads us to know when to expect it is, it was an 8-week lead time. So, 4 of that's already gone by with
What do we anticipate if we approve this tonight, how many weeks?
8-week lead time.
So, if we approve the lowest bid there, would that be something that you think would complicate the issue, or you think would be necessary to set a?
That might put a little pressure on the,
I think,
We're talking about a little over $300.
I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure how, once we give them a PO once we give them a PO, then they place the order with the factory, and a VIN number is assigned and production starts, so
Well, have we had any dealings with the next contractor up?
No.
That's just $300 difference.
We did check on lead time, and it was comparable.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't wanna waste any money, but $300, if it's over in Fort Payne and you already having that many issues, and if Rocky's going through with problems before, you know, I need to step up the plate, or I'd go over here to Fort Payne, in my opinion.
Any concerns about, again, different types of trucks again? I know you were trying to stick with
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's make or break either way. Whatever y'all decide, I'm fine with.
do we have a recommendation or a motion on how to proceed?
I'll go ahead and make, motion to go with Donahue.
Okay, the next highest bidder, which complies with the local, what's the word? Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes the items on the special meeting portion. We'll move on to our work session. The only item for discussion in the work session was regarding the race cross agreement and lease. This is something we discussed several months back. We decided to put it on hold because it was not, it did not take place or begin until September. We could probably look at this again next month, but I did want to make everybody aware of this. We need to schedule some budget meetings, and we'll do that over the next couple of weeks and have some discussions on this building. So it may be best that we continue to wait until we've had some discussions as to what we plan to do going forward. But I wanted to put this back out, see if there are any other questions or anything at this time before we held off. And this is for the lease for the building on Highway 72, which has extension office in it.
Now, this building right here, we're not getting, we're gonna fund until we get it.
We're receiving no funds to help maintain that building from any of the agencies that are in it.
I don't think we keep a building open right there when, you know, they've got things that they're funded with every day, and it's not our priority to leave them a place to stay.
And that's what we'll discuss further as far as the building as a whole. But this is one of how many agencies, Mr. Manning, you know, maybe 5 agencies in there?
Game Warden, Red Cross,
Okay.
Community Action.
That's right.
Community Action Committee.
But we've already discussed it, Senior RX, we can put them over to other places.
We can move them if need be, correct. So, if there's no objection with this, we'll continue to hold off on this until August. And after we've had our budget meeting so that we can make a determination as to how we're going to go forward. Okay. That concludes items there for the work session this evening. We have Ms. Barksdale with us. Do you have anything right now that you'd like to share, Ms. Barksdale?
No, Chairman, thank you. I really don't right now. I did want to ask if y'all did receive the letter of intent.
Yes, I just saw it.
Delegation.
Many of
We can discuss that at a future meeting.
them. All right, thank you. All right, Chief Deputy. Mr. Manning. Take us report. Mr. Campbell.
A letter in your file dated July 13, 2017 that's referencing a personal action that's taking place with our department. We have some email correspondence that led up to this. So as you read through that, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sis.
Only problem we got the situations going on out at Flat Rock. You know, with the bio waste stuff. Need to see where we at on that one, because I've had 3 or 4 phone calls.
I think we can look to see what we can do within our.
Well, the Local Governance Act gives the commission that was approved by the county. That's already in in existence, and it gives the county the authority to pass ordinances regarding pollution and things of that nature. If the commission wanted to consider that, there are a lot of technicalities we'd have to look at because there's some exceptions. We can't step on the toes of EMA or anything like that. So if it's something that, not EMA, EPA and ADEM, if it's something that's within their purview, we can't take over their job. But if it's not, then the county could have the authority to issue an ordinance regarding that. But it would take some investigation.
I'll suggest then on the 7th, that we can place it on the work session for the 7th for discussion and determine how we want to proceed as far as the research.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to know is who's policing it, because the way I was to understand, it was supposed to be, if they sprayed, it was supposed to be so far from other property owners' line, so far from the pond. Well, who's policing that? Who's making sure that this ain't going into the pond or the creeks or that's the only problem
Well, I couldn't believe that ADM let it pass, because I was on the board several years ago, and ADM was, some things, it was very picky. And when, and I know Tommy has went to the governor and tried to get things addressed, and not get any response,
Mr. Ashford's done some research, so I'll try to have him here on the 7th as well, so he can share some of that information.
That's where I got a lot of mine from.
We've seen some concerns about, it's not only in the Flat Rock area, but off County Road 45 and County Road 155. A lot of that's being spread in that area. And the problem we encountered is, the odor where the guys working in there is one thing, but a lot of that material, when it's been so wet, when they're delivering the material and then tracking back out on the road, and then that material is on the road, and even though there's been some attempts by the landowner to scrape it off the road, it's ground into the pavement. Then once it's dried and the dust and the exposure that's out there, I was just curious what authority we may have in them showing us,
I know on my road, it's awful.
Well,
There's spraying on my road right now.
I had phone calls, and I told myself, I farmed on the life, and I have hogs on this human waste out of Florida. And it was pre-ordered like fertilizer, the chemical on it. It was proven for a human deal. It was not any harm. And I couldn't understand why ADM shouldn't have stepped in.
It's just,
If there was some wells come back that was tested positive,
it's sprayed.
We'll have that again on the August 7th work session to discuss further and get that back to. Okay? Is that anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, sure. Do you have anything else? Okay. That concludes everything for our meeting this evening. We will have a meeting next Monday, and we will not have a meeting on the 31st, as that's a 5th Monday. And then again, we'll have our first work session in August on the 7th, that's our holiday. So with that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no.
Now, who's spreading human waste at work?
You hadn't heard about this yet?
No.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks. Flat Rock's kind of been, or Flat Rock and up that way has been kind of the hotbed, so to speak, of it. But apparently they're getting this stuff from Chattanooga, from some of the, plants up there.
Sewage treatment plants.
Yeah, treatment plants, they treat it with lime or whatever else, they let it dry out, and then they send it out to be spread on fields.
It looks just like chicken.
You can only do
Okay,
it every other year.
that's treated human waste. But what company's spreading it?
I'm not sure what the name of the
And is
company
it,
is.
you mentioned roadways, so is it being spread on roadways?
I think it's because these vehicles are tracking it out on the roadways.
No, they contract a company who comes out and spreads it on the fields.
Right?
But what he's saying is that when they come back out of the fields and get onto a county road, sometimes they'll track it out on the road, just like chicken litter does.
What company's doing this, you know?
I don't know the name of the company that's actually doing it.
Was somebody out of Chattanooga?
I'm saying so.
Yeah, but
ADEM has investigated some of it, but there's concerns because it's getting into streams and things like that.
See, I'm worried, because I got a pond that's close to, they're spreading in the pasture right next to me, and it's going off the hill.
Well, somebody, is it individual farmers that are contracted for this to be
They're
fertilizer?
They're hiring.
They're hired, instead of them spreading chicken
I
out
can
like
give
they
you the
always
guy's
have.
name if you want information.
Oh, yeah,
He's
I
got-
do. I want to know.
We don't have anything that can, it looks like we may be able to pass something that will allow us to restrict that, but outside of that, we really don't have
Well,
authority because there's nothing in
The health
place.
department has the purview of public nuisance, health hazard, public nuisance. Health department's got that purview.
But see, that's what I'm confused by that because A&M and the health department have been notified, but from what they've looked at, and they've been out there,
Yeah.
nothing's
I
been
got
done.
chicken houses close.
So my understanding is everything they're doing is by the book.
Yeah, but due to the special act, y'all can declare a public nuisance, right?
That's
In conjunction with the health department?
As possible, yes.
Yeah.
I think so. That's what he says he got research for.
And I hate chicken houses with a
So,
passion. I hate chicken houses.
you know,
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna suggest something. I would request the health department to do a survey to determine exactly what it is that's being spread. I mean, does it stink?
You can really tell
Does it stink?
Yes, it stinks terribly.
Okay.
Smells like crap.
So the question is there E. coli in that that's getting into the water supply?
Well, see, that's the question that's been asked. There's been some tests done, but the results of the tests that I know of have come back negative. But it's supposed to be treated so that that's not an issue.
Yeah.